Life is full of choices. Life is full of options, but do we choose the right one? The paradox of choice suggests that the more options we have, the harder it is to make the right decision. But in this video, we'll talk about only one choice. A single choice with only two options. Let's imagine you have a button in front of you, a blue button, and upon pressing that button, one thing happens. You become immortal. And yes, the question is simple. Would you press that button? And you said yes, but is it really that easy? The first and the most obvious thing that comes in our mind is that I should press it. Like, why should I not? I'm gonna be immortal. Now you have pressed the button and you attained immortality. And as you went home that night, you feel eternally blissed and happy inside. You go to bed and sleep that night and the next morning comes. But as you open your eyes the next morning, you realize one thing. You want to sleep more because you have infinite days ahead. You sleep more and whenever you try to wake up, you again realize that you always have a tomorrow. Why would you want to do anything today? The need, the drive and the motivation to work dies, and the urgency to pursue our goals will also not exist anymore. So does that mean it's the wrong decision to press that button? For you now, you know that you are mortal and you will die one day. This knowledge of inevitable death is enough for you to provide you the urge to do your work. But why should you even work if you are immortal? For many of us, work is a means of survival, a way to earn money and resources so that we can sustain ourselves in a world where time is limited and competition is extreme. Yet for some, work means not only to survive normally, but to survive in comfort, in satisfaction and in ease. Whereas some work because they have the desire to make their mark on the world and leave a lasting legacy that will be remembered long after they are gone. But if you choose to press that button, none of these things matter because you won't need any money to survive. You also won't have to work hard to be remembered because you will not die, but you have to do work for one thing, and that's more satisfaction and more comfort and pleasure. You will start to search for more and more pleasure, and the most pleasure you could get is through drugs. Yes, you will start to take drugs and you will feel the most satisfied. But after some time, one problem arises. Once you start to take a certain amount of drugs regularly, then your brain will become insensitive to that amount and it will want more intense and in higher in amount. This phenomenon known as tolerance can lead to a never-ending cycle of seeking greater and more intense form of pleasures in order to achieve the same level of satisfaction. But however more intense you may get, eventually your brain will become resistant to that amount. It will become resistant to any intensity and it will desire even more and stronger form of pleasure. At the end, your brain will not find happiness in any normal activity. You will be always hollow and empty inside. The simple joys of everyday life pale in comparison to the fleeting high of drug-induced pleasure. But what if we have one more option, one more button, a red button, and upon pressing that button, you will be awarded with extremely high amount of pleasure, but not just normally and constantly with the same amount, but the amount of pleasure you get doubles every second. An unending, eternal, infinite pleasure that just keeps getting stronger and stronger so that your brain cannot be desensitized to it. It will have no time to develop any tolerance. So would you press that red button? If you did choose to press that button, then it is over. You will be just like any other non-living thing. You would become non-living because you will not do anything. Why would you do any work? Why would you even bother to take the effort to open your eyes? Why should you even think? Every movement or thought and every action and effort becomes irrelevant and meaningless in the face of such cosmic pleasure. But does that not mean death? Your existence as a living being loses its significance since you are reduced to a mere brain floating in a sea of boundless satisfaction. But doesn't that idea terrify you? Doesn't it make you feel like something is fundamentally wrong? So if given the choice, would you press that red button? If your answer was no, it begs a new question. What are you doing right now? You are using your phone and you are entertained. Maybe you'll watch a movie tomorrow and that is gonna be fun. Maybe tomorrow you have to go to work because you want to earn money and go on a trip, a vacation with your friends and family. You want to buy a new car, a better phone, nice clothes. You want to enjoy life. Yes, you want to enjoy life. If your ultimate aim is to live a satisfying life, why would you not press that button that can offer you infinite satisfaction instead of just a tiny fraction of what you get after working all your life? It's quite paradoxical when you think about it. If you choose to press the button, you'll be cut off from the world and stuck in your own mind, consumed with a singular pursuit of pleasure. Your existence as a living being would become meaningless. On the other hand, if you choose not to press the button, you'll need to put in effort, work hard and earn money to achieve not even a fraction of enjoyment that the button offers in an instant. What would be the point of working hard and living a normal life when the gateway to infinite fun is right in front of you? Let's take a step back from the red button and revisit the blue button of immortality. We assumed that you pressed that button and now you're immortal. You're excited and now you start exploring life. You want to visit everywhere. You pack your bags and start traveling around the earth. You are traveling and exploring. You visited different countries, ate different types of food, and as time passed, after a couple of thousands of years, you explored the entire earth. You saw everything on earth, done every fun thing there is to do, and enjoyed everything on earth. But your clock is still at 0. You have infinite more days. As you continue on your immortal journey, you manage to find a way to travel to other planets. And over the course of a few million years, you have explored our entire solar system. From there, you venture out into the vast expanse of space, journeying from one planet to another, one galaxy to another and beyond. Even though the universe is expanding, it is still finite. With an infinite amount of time, you will eventually explore everything there is to explore. One day, you will have seen everything there is to see, experienced every possible sensation, and explored every inch of the universe. And when you look at your clock, the time still reads 0. But we know that universe is expanding at a rate faster than the speed of light. Let's imagine our universe generates as we try to explore more, like a video game like Minecraft. As you travel more, there's still more to explore. However, we live in a 3D world and perceive things in 2D. Given infinite time, you'll eventually have seen every possible combination of a 3D object, heard every possible sound, not just once, but an infinite amount of times. One day, your brain memories will almost be full. There will literally be nothing that your brain has to store more, because it has already seen and experienced everything. You guys tend to get bored after you spend some time alone at home, and you try to hang out with friends, go to the park, and try to relieve that boredom. But for you who chose to press that button, there is no relief, because everywhere you go will eventually get boring and uninteresting. You will feel empty inside and totally hollow after exploring the entire universe. After that, nothing could entertain you, nothing could surprise you. After an infinite amount of time, your own brain will start to irritate you. Words are the basis of thoughts, and words are limited, so are thoughts. Eventually, your brain will bore you with everything you can imagine, think, and say, because you will have gone through all possible visuals, words, thoughts, and feelings an infinite number of times. The weight of infinite time will bear down on you. You'll find yourself in a perpetual and unending state of boredom and depression. You'll try to find ways to elevate this feeling, but it will always come back. Every day you will feel the same. You'll always have a thought that there's always a tomorrow. Even though you explore the entire universe, your clock still reads 0, and you have infinite amount of time ahead of you. You'll even try to end your own life, but because you press that red button, you can't die. Suicide won't work. The universe will seem insignificant and small, and you will realize that you are trapped in this state for eternity. But suddenly someone comes in front of you and provides you with one more button, one yellow button, and upon pressing that button, you will be back to your mortal state. And he puts that button on your room and leaves. You see that and you think. You are filled with undescribable emotions. You want to press it and get out of this jail. But as you think deep, you see death, nothingness. You're in a state of unending perplexity. But as you look at yourself, you realize that you have everything you need, and having everything feels even worse than having nothing at all. Before, you used to feel great when you were on your first million years, when everything was new and exciting to you. But now as you have that button, death scares you. The concept of dying arises the same fear again, the end of everything forever. And you think and you think, and after an infinite amount of time you spend thinking, you see that your clock still reads 0. You have not even started yet. Realizing everything and thinking every possibility for an infinite amount of time, you come to the conclusion to press that button. With tears on your eyes, with happiness emerging from your heart, you pressed the yellow button. You cried all day with tears of pure bliss, tears of happiness. The yellow button was a gift for you, a gift in the form of death, and free from the curse of immortality. Subscribe.